Bam! Welcome to the show tonight, guys. Advocates for Justice Legal Service. Hey, we're coming to you guys tonight, Advocates for Justice Legal Service. I'm Coach Neighbor, and tonight we're going to be talking about how to talk to the judge. So we're going to have some fun with that. We're going to kind of keep it short, but we're going to bring something to the table for people who are facing the judge. And we got a little different setup tonight. We're getting used to. We upgraded, got some new equipment in, a couple extra screens. So we're still kind of figuring out, kind of out on angle now, so that at some point I can use the other screen for learning and teaching you guys things. And the webinars that we're going to start. Having. We're going to start having our webinar trainings for the lawsuit packages and things like that. So people can come to the training. I'm going to have a form that you need to fill out, and that form is going to let me know, pretty much whether or not you watched the instructional video. Because if you haven't taken the time to watch the instructional video, then I don't want to have you in the webinar training, because we're going to spend too much time answering questions that you can learn on your own in the instructional video. So, and you guys need to understand, when you invest in this program, it's a learning program. Okay, I don't really care about the number of days or all the stuff you were doing, because number one, the number of days don't matter. It takes like 2 hours or less to replace the red font and get my stuff stuck in their face. So once you get that done, you're not going to be worried about the number of days. But most people don't realize that what you're learning here is the non-conventional program, where you go after the people who actually signed to start the problem that you have. So that's a big difference between hiring an attorney and going after some imaginary corporation that didn't sign any of the documents that's trying to steal your property, or for the people that are facing jail time or whatever for violating their statute. That's not a valid law. Welcome to the stream tonight, Eric. Glad you can make it. And it's nice that you dropped in. It's nice to see who's showing up, because you never know when someone might need something. And at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that need stuff. So those people that have been showing up and doing their homework will obviously rank a little higher on the list when it's time for me to spend that extra time messaging them the answers to the questions that they have after they watch the instructional video. See how that works. And I talked to a couple of people last week that didn't have time to go watch the instructional video. They told me, I don't have time to go watch your video. Well, I'm not talking about all 400 and something videos. I'm talking about the instructional videos in the instructional video playlist. Okay. The instructional video and the instructional video playlist will allow you to review what you're going to have to do when you get the lawsuit package. I mean, I have this structured, so there shouldn't be any questions. Well, not questions, there's always going to be a few questions, but there shouldn't be any question in your mind as to what you're going to need to do to get this handled. Now, people freak out, they need to breathe in a paper bag and all of that shit. Well, those are the people that are still stuck in the attorney's conventional program, the one they laid out for you to follow. Yeah, you know which one I'm talking about. The one that you've been following as a defendant, doing all this stuff, and now you're finding out that you're doomed when you argue their lies. So it's a whole lot better program to attack the due process violations that they're doing to you with their state procedures and processes. We haven't even got to the court, okay? We haven't even got to the court. So let's just start at the gate. So statutes and codes are not valid laws. So in a judicial foreclosure, they're using the statute, whatever. It's not a valid law. It's not a valid law. It doesn't have the 3 elements that your state constitution and the federal constitution mandates must be present for something to be a valid law. And I'm not going to make you go look because I'm easy tonight, okay? Because I want you all to understand. They're not valid laws because they don't have an enacting clause, they don't have a title or a body. That's pretty much a wrap. They're violating your due process at the gate. Now, that new TRO that I put together, the temporary restraining order to block the state from receiving federal funding because, according to the spending clause in the Constitution, the federal government can withhold spending funding that's going to the state if the state's violated the citizens of the state citizens, because there's a difference between state citizen and U.S. citizen. If they're violating the state citizens' due process or Fifth Amendment, those are the two. If they're violating either one of those two, they do not qualify for federal funding. I've sold a few of these, but I haven't heard back from anyone to see how it's going. But here's the thing, at the end of the day, you always want to shift the focus from them pointing the finger at you saying you didn't pay or you didn't signal or whatever to their process that's violating your due process. That's what you want to focus. That's what we're doing here. At the end of the day, you're not going to be talking about, if you do your shit right, at the end of the day, you're not going to be talking about any other stuff that they want to talk about. Because if the federal judge, say you got your lawsuit filed in federal court, and the federal court's stalling to give them time to try and do whatever, okay? So now you come and you file your temporary restraining order, and it's clear that the federal government can block the funding if they, So now, if the federal judge refuses to act and block the funding, because not only can you show that you're being violated with their everyday state process and procedures, their everyday process and procedures are violating everybody else. So there's nothing they can argue. Now you can add the judge, the federal judge, to the list, or file a notice of claim is what I probably would do, because you always want to give them a back door, at least in the federal court. You want to give, actually all the time, you want to give them a back door. And that back door is where you want them to be in the first place. So that's how you do that. So that's a nice tool that we've added. That tool has been added to the online course. And that tool is also added to the prosecutor, limited prosecutor package, the lawsuit package that's going after the prosecutor that's trying to lock you up in prison with no injured party. Okay, so let's get back on the subject here. I'm talking to the judge. First off, I want you guys to make sure you subscribe. When I get to the 5,000 subscribers, I'm going to have a super sale on something. And make sure you guys click on those ads so I can get paid. That's how I get paid for bringing this fire to the table, because I'm sure not charging you guys what I should be charging for the value that you're getting in the package. And I'm all right with that, because I'm here for a purpose. I'm here for a purpose. And that purpose is, I don't know, this is my therapy for what they for what they did to me, teaching you guys how to smack them in the face. And I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but I really do love my job. Okay, so let's get on over to the judge when you gotta talk to the judge. So the first thing that you want to do when you're facing a judge is you want to get on the record the fraud, the real estate deed fraud. The real estate deed fraud is what allowed the parties to put the first illegal lien against your property. The real estate deed fraud. Your state law mandates that your deed is supposed to be delivered to you after the deal, but that's not what they do. They do what they call their constructive delivery, and they register your deed in their office, and then they send you a fake ass copy, which is totally against the law, for them to make a copy of security and send it to someone to make them think they have ownership. So the real estate deed fraud starts when they fail to deliver your deed to you as mandated by the state law. Now, what I would do is I would if I'm facing a judge, that's going to be the first thing to come out of my mouth. Judge, the parties commit a real estate deed fraud, the state and the parties commit a real estate deed fraud when they fail to deliver my deed as outlined in the law. So they registered in the office and that allowed the first illegal lien to be put against their property. Now, the first illegal lien was a mortgage lien. And why was it illegal? It was illegal because, think about this. If there were several people who owned property, all of the owners would have to be present to sign that mortgage lien, right? Yep. So the fact that they accepted your signature on the mortgage lien proves that you own the property already, or somebody else would have had to come and sign for it. I smell stink. Pretty simple. We just keep it simple. And that's what I would tell a judge. Judge, we're here today to, your job is to make sure that the statutes, the laws are being followed, right? Well, yeah. I'm going to demand that you order them to deliver my deed to my house as mandated by the state laws that you're here to enforce. I wonder what the judge would have to say. Well, just, if the judge don't look like he or she is ready to shut up, then, just take it a step further. My legal team, and I'm not that smart. I'm still looking into all of this stuff. But my legal team is telling me, Judge Smith, that you have a conflict of interest. And they're saying that the conflict of interest is the fact that the state is the real corporation foreclosing on my property. And the state has control of my property deed illegally. Now, they didn't tell you that you didn't have to put your deed in their office. There's no law that says anywhere that says you have to register your deed in their office. There's no law that says that. So there's no law that says that. And once they register your deed in their office, they put the fake lien against you. So the question becomes this, and I can't really tell you this. I can answer it as a question because people, the attorneys on Facebook, they tried to get me kicked off. Well, they did. They got my ad shut down because I didn't ask it right. So the question is this. If your deed was not in their office, would they be able to verify that there was a lien against your property? I don't know. I'm asking. If your stuff is not in their office, could they prove that there's no law that says your stuff needs to be in their office? So you should be able to just send them a formal letter requesting to have your deed delivered to you and removed from all of their databases as mandated by the state law. And then if they don't deliver it like the law says, then I would probably go to my website at winningcourtnow.com and get the challenge property tax lawsuit package and have some fun. But anyway, so talking to the judge. So once you lay out, if you understand this, you can lay it out in just a couple of paragraphs. Hey, they committed real estate deed fraud when they failed to deliver my deed to my house as mandated by the statute that you're here to enforce, pretty much. So my legal team is telling me that you have a conflict of interest because the state is the one that's actually foreclosing on my property. The state is the one that's actually paying the county recorder's office, the judge, the police. All of the people involved in here are paid by the state and or are licensed by the state. Oh, wait, and the state is the one that's in control of your property deed. So conflict of interest comes, according to my legal team, because I don't know all of this stuff yet. I haven't had a chance to research it, Judge Smith. But according to my legal team, you're being paid by the state as well. Not only are you being paid by the state, but you get a pension from the state. And I'm sure the state probably, I'm just going out on a limb here, donates money to your reelection fund. And I'm sure there's probably some other stuff that you don't want to talk about that you're getting for stealing people's property. Mel, maybe you shouldn't say that. I don't know. But you see what I'm saying here. Everybody is all freaked out. We got to make it complicated and do all this shit. No. The state is paying the judge to take your shit, and the state is the one that's hanging on to your property deed, hoping that you get beat down enough to pack your shit and leave, or at least that you get jacked up enough to where you spin around in circles and you can't make a decision one way or the other because you're too freaked out. That's state. So, at this point, you always want to give them a back door. Okay, it's always good to give them a back door, but it's the one that you want them to have. And at this point, I would say my legal team has let me know that once you're informed, you accept liability. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what my legal team says. Once you the judge, the person that's making the decision on this case, once you're informed of the real estate deed fraud, if the case continues, I think they said something about being a conspirator. I don't know. I'm not even sure what that means, but they said something about being a conspirator in a RICO operation. Well, you can water it down if you want to, but for me, all you need is have that butthead step his ass to the curb. Okay, you only need one person to step to the curb. And Nikki Ross is using the online course, and she and her team are helping people in 4 different states. And she said they pretty much are on like the third judge. So I'm like, okay, well, the first judge stepped aside because they didn't have So I didn't know these other judges coming in. I didn't know how they are supposed to have any kind of, I'm not even gonna say jurisdiction. We're gonna stick with authority, because without an injured party, the court down jurisdiction be done crap. RD, he filed his TRO after he filed his federal lawsuit. So RD, I pushed them on that. I would be calling the clerk's office like every day, maybe a couple of times a day, to check and see if the judge issued an order. And I would be letting the clerk know that this is a pretty serious situation, and it appears that maybe the judge is kind of helping them with their RICO operation. Work it. Call them. See, you need to let them know that you're going to be a pain in the ass. So that's a good way to look at it. See, Eric, here's the way I look at it. I look at it like this. So there's no way that you're going to win, because these fools structured the path for most people to walk down on the legal system. Now, we're down non-conventional path, so but we still in the same woods with all the other shit, So they structured the path. So my goal is, there's no way the judge is going to give you anything. So our goal is just to punch the ass in the face and keep punching them in the face and stay in the ring. Because see, the way they run their operation, and think about this, it's a corporation. The way they run this shit, all of these cases have to be at a certain point along the way. All of these things have to be done. I don't know exactly what it is, but I've been doing this for a minute, and I know that after a while, somebody's taking some heat for not getting your ass under control and getting you moved over to the edge of the cliff. So they boot your ass off. Our goal is to keep punching them in the face with their BS, getting this stuff on the record that you need, and forcing them to visualize, to share liability. That's how we do that. Force them to visualize, to share liability. Okay, so conflict of interest. So you want to get that on the court record that there's a conflict of interest. And the conflict of interest is the state is the one that committed real estate deed fraud to take control of your property deed. And at this point, I would be ordering the judge, I would be demanding the judge order them to deliver your shit. Okay, that's anytime you're in court, you need to be ordering them to deliver, forcing the judge to order them to deliver your stuff. And then I would so are you objecting to my request, Judge Smith? Because they're going to try to stall your ass out and get out the hearing without fucking acknowledging do your stuff. So I just tell you how that, So you need to know. And in the end, especially in federal court, and I learned this through the school of hard knocks, in the end, in federal court, they always have to ask if the same thing else. They always have to ask if, oh, hell yeah. I'm still waiting for you to order them fools to bring my stuff to my house. Oh yeah, I do it as many times as you can get away with. You want to push these fools until they tell you they're going to hold you in civil contempt. You can do a lot of pushing before that. If you ain't up in here acting like a damn sissy, and like I said in the last stream, when you go in acting like a sissy, you can have a flamethrower, but if you go in talking soft and acting like a sissy, they know you ain't about to burn nobody. They know you ain't about to burn nobody. So, you're gonna go with the flamethrower. You need to have that. Yeah, so you need them to know that you are willing to do whatever it takes. If you're not willing to do whatever it takes, then I'm going to suggest not that you don't invest in my program. So, and one of the biggest thing that I get most people, I don't want to get on Facebook. I don't like Facebook. I don't give a crap. If you want coaching, you better friend me on Facebook, move your ass over there, get on the page that we have and start learning. There is a ton of information in the pages that we posted over the years. People reporting to me how they're trying to get out of being held accountable for what they're doing to people. So, and I don't coach texting people. My hands are too dang big, okay? And when I get done with that text, it don't say what it's supposed to say. Some of you people think I'm crazy. And I ain't got time to be changing so if you want to get involved on the coaching that I offer in my program, then you're going to need to like our foreclosure lawsuit DIY online course page so that you can see the updates, and then you can message me in that page, or you can message me in Messenger. There are several ways that can happen, or you can message me on YouTube. It's better to do a messenger because I don't check YouTube as often. I'm on Facebook all day. Coaching people and doing stuff. The last thing that you got to understand is liability comes with knowledge. Liability comes with knowledge. So when you jam them up and that flickering is, you want to let them know that that's what the legal team said, because we're stupid and we don't know nothing. But the legal team knows shit. So, hey, Jessica, how long will it take to change your? I don't know. This doesn't sound like something that I really want to talk about here. So, you guys can friend me on Facebook and ask me a question. I'm thinking you're talking about how long to change your name. I mean, your status is probably what I'm thinking you're going to ask, but I didn't know. So I don't know how long it would take to change your, oh, wait, here's another one. Oh, what's my name on Facebook? I don't know. They call me Mr. Jayhawk Man. Oh, the wrong side. I'm the Jayhawk Man. I'm a very old one. No, it's my real name. So my real name is my name on Facebook. You have to friend my real name to see the other stuff. So I don't remember what my name is. I'm gonna let you go figure that out, Jessica. Thank you. Muchas gracias, mija. Que tenga un buen día. Watch your language and your document. So you file my stuff or your stuff? What language? I don't have profanity in my legal documents. I don't think I do. Well, yeah, apparently the judge didn't want to hear what you had to say because it's getting a little hot in the kitchen. And they know, if you understand the concept that we're using here, then these judges know that you could turn on their ass in a heartbeat. And that's what this should be about. Turn it on their ass in a heartbeat. As soon as they violate you, if you sit around and don't do shit, it's just going to be a matter of time before, then it's a wrap, and they then kick your shit out. And they won't even tell you they kick your shit out until they're already showing up at your door to throw your shit in the yard. So anybody can tell me that I'm wrong. I have a few people who listened to the attorneys and ended up getting themselves jammed up. If you're using my stuff, they give me a hard time. I got your back, and we have a plan for that. Although the people that are paralegal, I won't say paralegal because those are people kiss attorneys' asses. Although the legal coaches that are using my program to help other people or to teach other people, if they get in your face about practicing law without a license, you need to give me a call. You all got my number, and I got your name next to your number. You need to give me a call, and I'll send you over what I use. Very effective, as you can see, because I'm still here. Helping people learn how to punch somebody in the face. I'm not going to send you the link to the instructional video because I want you to take your ass over there to my YouTube channel and watch the updated instructional videos and the instructional videos for the lawsuit package that you invested in. I'm not going to send you that stuff. I don't have time. Number one. And if I did, I would not send it to you. My program is not for the people who sit on their ass wanting everybody to do stuff for them. My program is for the people that's willing to jump on Google and find out the answer to stuff themselves before messaging or emailing me for something that you can learn yourself. And sometimes people get mad because I'll tell you right off, my job is not to make it easy for you. Okay? My job is to help you learn how to stay in your house or to stay out of jail. Those are to pretty much keep your property or stay out of jail. So I don't have time for that. If you're interested in my program, you need to go to my YouTube channel and you need to take a look at the instructional videos. You need to head over to my website and you need to take a look at the options that you have. I don't tell people what to do. When people call me, what package do I get? I don't know. You need to figure that out. And if you spend some time on my website and you understand the packages, you'll see that 42 USC by far, hands down, is the one that covers what needs to be done. Now, if you have questions about the package after you watch the instructional video, how it relates to you or whatever, then you can send me an email or you can message me, friend me on Facebook and message. I don't take phone calls for the lawsuit packages unless I feel like I need to make the call. And in most cases, I don't. In most cases, people are in a hurry because they got a hearing, they got this, they got that. So they're running around half-assing shit, which is a waste of your time and your money. Because here's the thing. It don't take very long to change the red font in my documents and stick it in their face, okay? That doesn't take very long. Once you do that, why would you be worrying about the 13 days or the 9 days or that? Because if you get done adding the state, the judge, and the attorney or the prosecutor to my lawsuit and file as counterclaim in the state, shit, they're gonna have their hands full up to here trying to figure out what the hell to do. And in the meantime, if you're following the program, you'll be getting your lawsuit filed in federal court. Maybe about the time they dismiss the state court stuff. And now you can move all of that crap that was going on state court over to federal court, because now you're not talking about if you ran a stop sign. Now you're not talking about if you missed a payment or didn't pay, and none of that shit. You're not talking about. Now you're talking about suing them for the process that violated your due process rights, and you are attaching all of the state court crap to your federal case as your evidence. That's a wrap. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's a wrap. You don't need no evidence. You don't need nothing from them. You're ready to go to trial. Oh, wait. Then you file the TRO to block the state from receiving federal funding. And that's a big ass thing because I checked. The state that receives the least amount of funding was like 37%. And the state that received the most amount of funding was like 72%. Now, I don't remember which state was in there. But if you think about it, that's a great way to shut down the courts of money, shut down all their money until they settle your lawsuit and change their state process and procedures. Here's the thing, guys. I can't help you until you get your lawsuit package and watch the instruction video and you're ready to go. You got to get yourself to the gate. Okay, you got to get yourself to the gate, and then I help you keep their ass at the gate, because you don't want they stinky asses stepping on your side, and you sure don't want to step on their side, because it's real poopy over there. When you call me before you get your lawsuit package and before you watch the instruction video, we're just talking about the past. We're talking about the past, and we don't use none of that. We don't use none of that shit that most people want to talk about, because we're not going after them for the fake loan. We're going after them for them violating your due process with their everyday procedures and processes. That's what this is about. That's all the value that I have to share with you guys tonight. I want to thank you for the privilege of your time, and I will see you in the next video. Good night.